So you were sharing some stuff with me on that, and you were getting into Judges, and I think we went to Genesis 49, and we wound up in a lot of places. So tell me a little bit about what you were talking about earlier.
Well, one of the things that I have a great concern about with the younger generation is the will of God. I think the will of God is probably the most important thing that any man who is in ministry can seek after. I quoted this verse to you earlier in Ephesians chapter 1, that God does all things. He works all things after the counsel of his own will. So it's not me asking God to bless what I'm doing or what my will or desire is, but it's me finding the will of God, because that's where God is working. He's working wherever he has established his will. So I see this all through the scripture, that men who were in the will of God could accomplish so much more than men who were outside of the will of God. In fact, you can even use the same man. For instance, Moses, outside the will of God, could not keep one Egyptian hid in the sand. While in the will of God, he could bury the whole Egyptian army in the Red Sea.
Well, see, that's it, right? Look at this.
There's your your comparison.
Yeah.
You could use David. David, in the will of God, single-handedly could take down Goliath. But when he was dealing with an old grouch, he took 400 men with him to try to deal. So he's in the will of God, killing Goliath. He's outside of the will of God, trying to deal with Naboth. So it was a losing battle.
Yeah.
And it's always a losing battle whenever you have got to somehow gather your own forces to get the job done.